Hey everyone, it's Josh Vision, and I'm here today to give you yet another Vikings discussion video. And today's topic is focusing on whether King Harold, King Finehair, will at some point betray his brother, King Halfdan, whether in season 5 or even later down the line in the Viking series. This topic video was pretty much inspired by one of my subscribers, Backwoods. He commented on my Viking season 5 reaction trailer, and he mentions the fact that he felt as though he could see Halfdan distancing himself or possibly distancing himself from King Finehair in probably most likely upcoming season 5. And I believe that's what he said, or something to that degree. And it really, I thought about it, and at first I was like, I don't see that happening, even though that would be very interesting, an interesting twist in regards to the show. And then I thought about how that actually could quite possibly happen if we look at just sort of the theme of the show, or one of the many themes of the show. For one, I sort of had to rewind myself back to Bjorn and Ragnar's scene in the first episode of season 3, which Ragnar says that power is dangerous, how power attracts the worst and it corrupts the best, and that pretty much with power, you have to lower yourself to pick it up. And when we think about some of the leaders that we've seen so far in the series, whether it's King Egbert or King Horik, that connects to them quite strongly because Egbert has always said from the get-go that he's corrupt. And that has made him do things that he has obviously regretted. And I think the last thing that comes to mind, besides the Viking settlement, is literally taking Queen K's birthright away from her, her kingdom. You know, despite the fact that him and her was always on good terms, and that him or her actually had the agreement to bring in, for his men and Ragnar's men, well, the Viking mercenaries, to help her claim back, to get back her kingdom and whatnot, and that greatly affected him. And I think in a way that was really the point in the series in which Egbert really started to sink more and more and more into his own guilt and his own wrongdoing. When we look at King Horik, uh, when it comes to Ragnar, Horik was seeing that Ragnar was becoming more and more famous. But at first, he was cool with that until Yagbor mentioned that Ragnar is becoming more famous than you. He knows it, and the people know it. So it's best for you, in order to maintain your kingdom and your status, pretty much let him free so he can kill Ragnar and then make Rollo Earl. As we know, that didn't happen. Ragnar gave Jarlborg the blood eagle of a lifetime, but that still planted the seed in which Horik got to the point in which he literally said, "You know what? There's no way to talk with Ragnar, or there was no way to pretty much find a way to bend Ragnar to his will. So I'm just gonna kill everyone, kill Ragnar and his family, because that's the only way I can maintain my power, my status." Which once again shows how power corruption can attract the worst when it comes to King Horik, and also when corrupts the best when it comes to Egbert. So this definitely connects to King Finehair, because Finehair, as we know from the show, his main priority to become the king of all Norway was to pretty much gain the hand and marriage of that woman. And when he meets after all these years, and the fact that she's already married, that she lied to him essentially, that everything that he did, all the horrific things that he did, the raping and killing of these women, the burning of the Paris soldiers, all this stuff, you know, was essentially all for naught. He did this for nothing. He didn't get what he wanted. And it got to the point that even despite her telling him that she was sorry and that she essentially lied to him, he was pissed, and his brother Halfdan telling him that, listen, you was a fool to believe her. You know women are fickle and all that stuff. He still pretty much killed her husband. And then after that, as we know, she basically had sex with the guy. And you're saying to yourself, why is he doing this? He just killed her husband. And with Halfdan killing her, even though Finehair should have seen it coming and that it was the right thing to do in that particular moment, I feel as though King Finehair will never truly forgive his brother for that moment, because that was the love of his life, and that was probably the only person besides Halfdan that he definitely cares about more than anyone in the world. And like I mentioned before, when you have power, it's either going to corrupt the best or attract the worst. Now with Finehair, if he does become the king of Norway, as we see with other leaders in the show, not just Egbert or Hort, but with Kalf, when he betrayed Lagtha, despite the fact that he actually did legitimately care for her, the power was the most important thing. The power went to his head. He became obsessed with that and tried to justify it by saying, well, I was here first, Lagtha, and Hedeby. You were outsider. Pretty much, just crap, whatever. So we look at Finehair, all the things he's done. He's already ferocious. He's already what he is. So I feel as though he will most likely he would try with his personality type. He would probably get a little bit paranoid. Despite being at the top of the mountain, you don't say we got to top of the mountain. It gets hard to breathe, and everyone's starting to gun for you because let's be honest here, he was once an outsider too when Ragnar was king and all that, and he made it known that he wanted to become the king of Norway. He was like a piranha. And as the show says, when you have ambition, you shouldn't be trusted. Because ambition is the main thing that can destroy a dynasty, essentially, a kingdom, but can also destroy the individual from within. Ragnar was kind of able to avoid that because he chose his own death. He went to England and died the way he wanted to. Now, that's to be said about when it comes to Ragnar's sons. But in regards to Finehair, since this video is basically focused on Finehair, I can see Finehair betraying his brother. Because the only one that will be able to probably get to Finehair would be his brother. They'll be second in line. I think Finehair doesn't want anyone, interrupting his moment. All the stuff he sacrificed and did to even pursue the kingship in the first place. So there's a possibility that I could see Finehair dispatching his brother at some point in the series, probably once he gets the crown, if he does. But thank you guys for watching this video. Rate the video if you can. Write some comments down below, and have a nice day. Adios.